Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. It is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2013. It is Hemi time, 4:26 in the morning. Backlog trying to get caught up. Again, this is Castaways versus Newlanders Phase 2. We're actually going in Castaways versus Castaways, Newlanders versus Newlanders. Round 1 just wrapped up this weekend. Kept it open 2 weeks. That is actually what I plan to do with this one. We're going to go ahead and run it, through 2 Saturdays. Primarily in this round. Why? Just because I don't think I would be able to get it done this weekend. Tons of stuff going on, obviously, holiday weekend, etc. So we'll have a chance to get more votes. And essentially what I decided to do in terms of rotation, keep the air element the same. If you note, it was air and earth in round 1. Dino-Rang, Flashwing, respectively, have come all the way to the water element. We'll essentially just rotate, Warnado, Jet-Vac will stay put. They'll go through Earth, Fire, Life, Magic, Tech, Undead, Water. And at that point in time, we'll have these 7 matches done. We can combine the Castaways versus Newlanders mark and the respective Castaway, Newlander mark. Have our 15 match total. Use that to seed the bracket and have some fun there. That said, the way this works, again, right-hand side of the blog, oneofwisdom.com, scroll down, see the Twitter feed. Just below the Twitter feed, you'll see like Castaways, round 2-1. It'll be Warnado, Sunburn. Pick your favorite character, click submit, click vote, whatever it is, and continue on down all the way through Chill versus Flashwing. That way you get 8 matches you can vote in. This isn't quite as epic of a showdown as round 1. That had some killer matches. I mean, it worked out really, really well. That said, you're going to have some really good ones coming up as well. But that said, what I want you to do here, again, if this is your first time, don't just say, oh, player versus player, Hot Dog is going to kill Jet-Vac. Go ahead and factor everything into it. If you like Hot Dog's gameplay, but you think his pose is lame, and you think Jet-Vac's is the greatest pose ever, factor that in. Factor the pose, the gameplay, the upgrades, the voice acting, what they would do in player versus player, how well you like the upgrades. Just combine everything, and use that to make your decision. Don't just say, okay, well, it's a tournament, we got to do player versus player. Factor everything in. We'll do that to make this different. Didn't get to mention the last time, Chase McCain is hiding. It's in a similar spot to last time. You can probably pick him out, but if you find him, feel free to post up. That said, let us go ahead and get started here. Our first matchup. I think I will go ahead and call this our marquee matchup. Feel pretty good about that, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to pan out based on what I've seen from people in the past. I know both of these have pretty faithful followers. That said, pitting them against one another brings an interesting dichotomy here to the table, because I'm not quite sure where they're going to lean. Obviously, we know both camps kind of tank against Camo. Don't necessarily fare well against Ghost Roaster, but they've dominated everyone else. So really, pretty interesting match here. Warnado comes in 5-3, 1-0. That essentially means against the Newlanders he went 5-3. Currently against his Castaway companions he's undefeated. Well, Sunburn essentially +1'd him. He went 6-2 against the Castaways. Against the Newlanders, and then he also was undefeated against... No, I'm sorry, he lost. Let me just start that over. Warnado 5-3 against the Newlanders, 1-0 defeating Dino-Rang in round 1. Sunburn comes in 6-2 against the Newlanders, however, he just lost to Camo. So, let's try this again. I know what I would do personally. That said, I think it's going to be really close. I could see basically what y'all select going either direction. I will be following this one closely. Again, I'm going to go ahead and dub it our marquee matchup. Matchup number 2 of round 2 in the Castaways bracket. We have the Life Element Juggernaut Camo coming in against Voodoo, the Magic Element Castaway. Camo comes in 8-0 and 1-0, undefeated against the Newlanders. Currently 1-0 in the Castaway bracket. Voodoo comes in with a mark of 3-5 against the Newlanders, 0-1 against his Castaway companions. I know what I would do. Pretty sure that's what everyone else is going to do. We'll wait it out, see what happens. Third matchup. This one's kind of interesting. Boomer, Tech Element Castaway, everyone's lovable loser. He comes in with a mark of 5-3, 1-0 currently against Castaways. Ghost Roaster spooks in. He has a mark of 7-1, 1-0 here against the Castaways. Just took down Wham-Shell. I know what I would do. I'm pretty sure I know what everyone's going to do. That said, maybe a little tighter than you're expecting. We'll just kind of have to wait it out, see what happens. Final matchup. This one should be pretty good as well. Wham-Shell comes in 7-1 against the Newlanders. Just lost to Ghost Roaster here against the Castaways. Then we've got Dino-Rang, who comes in 5-3 against the Newlanders. Lost to Warnado in round 1. So both of them winless here against the Castaways. Something's got to give. I know what I would do. That said, I'm not quite sure it's going to mirror what everyone else would do. I think this one should be pretty tight. Let me skim it. I will go ahead. Obviously, I'm thinking Sunburn Warnado is going to be close. It's the marquee matchup. If I had to pick one after that would be tight amongst the Castaways, it would be this one. I could see it going either way. Again, I know personally what I would do. That said, I think this one should be pretty intense. It's just a little bit shy of being the marquee matchup. That brings us now to the Newlander end of the bracket. We have got 1-7 Jet-Vac. That means he won 1 against the Castaways. Just lost to Flashwing in round 1. Going up against 6-2 Hot Dog. 1-0 here in the Newlander bracket. I know what I would do. I don't think it's what the rest of you will do in terms of their final results we're going to see. But, you know, it'll probably go the other direction of what I would do personally. But, you know, never know what'll happen. That's why we have the votes and we tally them. Kind of an interesting matchup there if you actually factor everything in. Don't just go off like your first initial reaction. That said, our next matchup in the Newlander end of things, we've got 1-7 Shroom Boom. He's 0-1 here, lost to Hot Dog in round 1 against the Newlanders. Going up against 5-3 Pop Fizz, 1-0 here against the fellow Newlanders, if you will. He just obliterated Sprockets, and he's moved down now, taking on Life Element Shroom Boom. I know what I would do, and pretty sure this one's going to be a decent margin of victory. One of the wider ones, I'll go ahead on record and say. But that's our second match there for the Newlanders. Third match for the Newlanders is actually going to be Tech Element Sprocket. She comes in 1-7 against the Castaways, and 0-1. Obviously just got obliterated by Pop Fizz a little bit ago. She is facing the Undead Element Newlander Fright Rider. He comes in with a marked 3-5 against the Castaways. He is currently 1-0 against the Newlanders. Took down Chill last round. Definitely know what I'd do. Pretty sure this one will be a considerable margin. I may have to think about what's going to be the biggest blowout, but nonetheless, if you actually put these two head-to-head, factor everything in, fairly interesting there, I guess we should say. This next one, if I had to pick a matchup between the Newlanders that was going to be the tightest, it would be this one. We have 0-8 winless Chill. She was just beat by Fright Rider. 0-1 here against Newlanders. Going up against 1-7 Flashwing. She did take down Jet-Vac in the first round of the Newlanders then, so she's 1-0 here. This actually, let's see here. I think Warnado Sunburn is going to be really tight. And I think Dino-Rang Wham-Shell should be tight. I think this one will be right there with them. I think I know what everyone's going to do. And I don't know. I mean, I think I know what people will pick here. This one's really, really close in my personal opinion. I'm having a hard time for sure picking one. But I think most of you are going to think you're going to know how everyone's going to vote. But you have to remember, with 1-7 Flashwing and 0-8 Chill, yeah, they got beat by the Castaways, but now that they're up against the Newlanders, some of these Newlanders are going to start going on some streaks. You know, they're going to bump up the win margin significantly. This one's going to be tight, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results. Honestly, don't know what to expect from you, the viewer and voter, at this point in time. I think I know, but I could very easily be wrong. And bottom line, I think this is going to be one to follow closely. That said, you know the drill. Right-hand side of the blog, just below the Twitter feed. Run through the cycle. Start with Warnado and Sunburn. End with this one here, Chill and Flashwing. Cast your vote. Make sure you click vote. That way it's submitted. Again, it doesn't register it instantly. If you refresh the page, you can kind of see what your vote did. So if you come in and you vote for Sprocket and you see that it's 10-10, you can actually refresh it and you'll see your vote, and that made Sprocket 11, Fright Rider 10, etc. Had a few people ask about that, but that's all it is. It does count your vote. It's just to actually see it incorporated into the standings. You actually need to refresh the page or come back later. Again, I'm going to go ahead, marquee matchup, Warnado Sunburn. That one should be really interesting. I think it'll be tight. I think Dino-Rang Wham-Shell is also of high interest. Similarly, Flashwing and Chill that we just covered, I think is going to be super intense there. Biggest blowout, what do I want to go with on that one? Obviously, anytime you pick Camo, you could expect that, particularly given his undefeated mark. Pop Fizz Shroom Broom, I could see that being big. Fright Rider Sprocket. Honestly, I think Hot Dog Jet-Vac could be a pretty big blowout. Again, these don't necessarily mirror what I agree with. I don't see Ghost Roaster Boomer being a blowout. Man, it's really hard for me to call this one. Voodoo, I know he's got some faithful followers. I think Camo is probably still, based on your votes, going to be a very significant margin there. I'm inclined to say Fright Rider Sprocket would be the biggest blowout. Wouldn't be surprised if it went to Camo Voodooed. However, and this is not something that I would personally think based on my opinions, but based on what I've seen in the polls and what everyone's voted, I could see Hot Dog Jet-Vac being a blowout. That said, I'll just go with my usual. I'll say Fright Rider Sprocket, biggest blowout. Jet-Vac Hot Dog, Camo Voodooed, right there. Pop Fizz Shroom Boom, I think, will be a significant margin of victory as well, but maybe not as much as the others. Really hard to say in this one. But the main thing, we've got some pretty sweet matches. Warnado Sunburn, Dino-Rang Wham-Shell, Flashwing Chill. Going to be interesting in a couple others like Boomer, Ghost Roaster. I'm kind of wondering how everyone will react to that one. That said, I'm going to quit rambling. Again, who I personally would pick, I'll reveal to you in the round 2 results video. most of you that have followed this probably already know, but sometimes, I do things interesting. I've got my reasons. So that said, vote for your favorite Skylander. Again, factor everything in, not just PvP. Go with the pose, upgrades, gameplay, etc. Tell your friends about this. Again, if you're a huge, we'll say, Voodoo fan and you want to see him be the first to knock off camo in this thing, tell your friends, get them to vote, have your parents vote, whatever you need to do. Pull for your favorites. Again, the more people we get involved, the more interesting the results will be. Again, this time, instead of running it a week like you're used to, just like kind of the kickoff for each round, probably going to let this one go 2 weeks. Again, don't think I'd have time to cover it this weekend. And if the poll's going to be closed, why not have it open, get more people involved, So that said, should be fun. Make sure you vote oneofwisdom.com, right-hand side, just below the Twitter feed. Always go down to the very last matchup. That way you get the most out of your votes. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for voting. Don't forget, Chase McCain is out here somewhere. Blends in a little bit, but I think you'll be able to spot him. Again, if you're having trouble, the hint, round 1 results, if you see him, he's very close to that position. I'll leave it at that. But again, let me know your thoughts on this one, who you want to see win, etc., and we'll have some fun with it. In the event that I don't crank out something else before the 4th of July, I hope everyone has a good time. There is a 4th of July in the rest of the world. It's just not as big of a deal as it is here in America, since it is our Independence Day. But hopefully you have fun, get to have a cookout, shoot some fireworks, blow some stuff up. If you can't do that, hopefully you get to watch someone else do it. Stay safe. Bear in mind, if it's dry, be very careful with the fireworks. You don't want to be the village idiot that torches the town or something. But have fun, stay safe, enjoy it. And again, thanks for voting, and I will catch you back here for round 2 results and the round 3 matches.